Shalom Yeshabala. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rechah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to those La'akim that's preach the word in all truth and sincerity. Alone to Israelite foreigner brothers that like the heathens, but the line of outside goes back to the nation of Israel, which nation of Israel are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans due to prophecies and curses of Deuteronomy 28 chapter and throughout the Bible. So this is your brother Yakal, a month for a lesson, and today's lesson will be entitled Show a Pattern of Good Works. I was going to go on some precepts and Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters out there be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemon Shai. Because being in this knowledge, we must have a pattern of good works in the Lord, man. Rather it be teaching the correct doctrine, begin on teaching the true names of our God, Yahweh Shemon Shai, having charity, praying to the Lord, having faith, all of those, are good works in the Lord, and we must display that, once we repent and come into the truth. You see, so I just want to go into the lesson in regards to that, and I'm going to start the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 7. Now this book Titus was written to Titus, which he was an Israelite, from Apostle Paul. And Titus he was just instructing, Titus on how to order the church in Crete. You know, by Titus, by setting up, elders and bishops and giving them counsel on how to run the church. So this is just Apostle Paul, giving Titus, sound advice on, how to, uh, lead the church, that was in Crete, because this just proved that real quick that it was in Crete. Titus 1:5 says, "For this cause I left thee in Crete, that thou shouldest set in order the things that are wanting," which means lacking, "and ordain elders in every city as I have appointed thee." So this was the job of Titus from Apostle Paul, to set in order things, set in order the things that was lacking, and ordain elders in every city. So set up elders, that had good report, that had a good name, that had good works. You see, so and it says one of them says, if any be blameless, the husband of one wife, having faithful children, not accused of riot or unruly. So he had to be a well-structured man. He had to be a husband of one wife, because by you having multiple wives, it can lead to distractions. So and having faithful children, not accused of riot or unruly. So he had to have a good household. You know, and Buzz can read the rest. Just for the sake of time, because I don't want to lead into another topic. But let's go back to Titus 2:7. Let's read that. And it reads, "In all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, and doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity." Right, man. So we have to show a pattern of good works. And let's just define a couple of these words. Pattern is from the Greek word typos, which means when you go right here, it says an example. Because the scriptures speak about being an example to the believers. You know, and how do we be an example to the believers? By way of our conduct, on how we represent the Lord in the truth. By of course, keeping the laws and commandments to the best of our ability, rehearsing the righteous acts, being fervent in the truth, going out on the highways and hedges week in, week out, being brotherly, showing charity, not being selfish, not being self-willed, and so on and so forth. You see, so let's look at that word. So the doctrine that we push, which is the doctrine of Yahweh Shemon Shai, which is the apostles' doctrine of Great Millstone, it has to be uncorruptness. It can't be corrupt, because that would mean the doctrine will be flawed. And gravity, let's define our word. I believe it means honor. Gravity is from the Greek word simnotes, which means honor. So this truth has to be preached with honor and integrity. You see, it says sincerity. So it has to be sincere. It has to be truthful. It has to be from the heart, man. And sincerity. It says purity, sincerity, and corrupt. You know. So right, man. So it has to be sincere. You see, and I'm gonna get a few scriptures on what the elect will have in the last days in regards to having good works in the Lord. The first one will be, you know, Luke 21:36. It says, "And watch ye therefore." So in the last days, the elect, they'll be watching for what? Watching for the prophecies, keeping up with the current events that's happening in the world and admitting it to prophecy in the scriptures. You see, it says, "And pray always." The elect will always be praying, because Yahweh Shai said that man shall always ought to pray and not to faint. So that's what we're supposed to do. It says that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. That's the thing. You want to be accounted worthy, man. Because when all hell break loose, we want the Lord to remember us. Remember all the works that we did in Him. We don't want the Lord to remember our wickedness. We want the Lord to remember our righteousness that we did towards His name. And beginning on with the names, standing so stiff for the names and the doctrine. You know, so this is one of the good works the elect will have. They'll be watching. They'll be praying to the Lord. And the second one will be diligence. 2 Peter 1:10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fall. Yes, so if you're diligent in the truth, which that will only apply to the elect of Israel, you ain't gonna never fall. Because ultimately the Lord has put His Holy Spirit upon you to be diligent. You know, and diligence is from the Greek word spoudazo, which means to hasten, make haste, give diligence, to exert oneself, labor, to make effort. Be prompt or earnest, study. Because the scriptures talk about the righteous study to answer. Let's get that real quick. That's in Proverbs 15. Proverbs 15 and let's see. Uh, yep. Proverbs 15:28. It says the heart, which heart goes back to the Hebrew word la, which means your mind, of the righteous study to answer. So the elect, the righteous, they will study to answer. Because we get presented with a lot of questions on the highways and byways, and through our videos on YouTube, but especially on the highways and byways. On questions, on certain breakdowns, or you know, prove to me that the Lord only died for Israel. People like that. Because there's a lot of people that often come up. They don't believe, so they gotta have everything to be proven to them. The scriptures talk about prove all things. But it also has to come to a point you gotta just believe too. Yeah, we prove the scriptures. That's what we're supposed to do, speak according to the word. But your belief has to be mixed with faith, as the scriptures say. Certain things we can't prove. Some certain things you just gotta believe in the spirit. You know. So it continues says, but the mouth of the wicked pour out evil things. Yeah. That's regards of doctrine, wicked doctrine, false doctrine. You know. So yeah. So let's go to another one. So the elect in the last days, one of the good works is they will be diligent. They'll be fervent in the Lord, man. They won't be have their hands in their pockets. Whatever measurement of truth the Lord has bestowed upon the elect, they will perform it to the best of their ability. They will excel in their lot. Because the scriptures speak about abounding in the faith, which means to grow. And when you go to Luke 12:35, this is another characteristic that the elect will have in regards to having good works. Luke 12:35, be in readiness. Let your loins be girded about and your lights burning. And that's just another way of saying being fervent for the truth. So because the scriptures speak about being fervent. Fervent Bible verse. Uh, Yep, Romans 12 and 11. Let's go to that. Romans 12 and 11. And it reads, I saw verse 10, Romans 12 and 10. Be kindly affection one to another with brotherly love and honor perform one another. So that's another thing too. We have to have that brotherly love, man. We can't treat each other like how Jake will treat each other in the world. You know, being a nigga, stealing from each other, and, lusting after brothers' wives. We can't be doing those things, man. Because those things leads to death. You see, it says verse 11, not slothful in business. And this is the Lord's business. This is the occupation. So we can't be slothful. We can't be lazy. It says fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. So we have to be fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, having that zeal. Zeal means, jealous, and to be, be passionate. So fervent is from the Greek word zeal, to boil with heat, be hot. Fervent in spirit said of zeal for what is good. So yeah, so we have to have that zeal, you know, that godly jealousy in the Lord, man, in regards of, teaching the truth, man. Being all about the Lord's business. You see, not slacking, not being lackadaisical, but doing what we're commanded to do. You see. But let's go back to Luke 12 and 35. It says, lay your loins, be girded about, and your lights burning. And ye yourself like unto men that wait for the Lord. And are we waiting for our Lord Yahushua come back? When he will return from the wedding. And what is the wedding? The wedding is when Yahushua um, Yahushua, which he is the bridegroom, be reunited with his bride, which is the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect. When he comes back to deliver the elect, that's going to be the wedding. You know that when he cometh and knocketh, that they may open unto him immediately. Yeah, it says, blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down and meat, and will come forth to serve them, man. So yeah, so because the truth is like a meal, So we wait on our Lord Yahweh Shai, and we watching for the prophecies, man. And those servants, the servants that watch for those things, are blessed from the Lord. You see. So it says, and if he shall come in the second watch, shall come in the third watch, and find them so, blessed are those servants, because the watchmen, the prophets, the elect, they're gonna be constantly watching. Whatever time of day, they're gonna constantly be watching for the prophecies, man. You know, the events that's unfolding in the earth, they're gonna constantly be watching for those type of things. So it's not gonna come upon them unawares. You see, and this know that if the good man of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and would not suffer his house to be broken through. Yeah, so because if he were watching, then all these things wouldn't have happened. See, these type of things will happen if you're not watching. You know, and what is that thief? That ultimately that thief is that MOTB. When it comes to pass, man. And that's why we constantly speak about it all the time. That's going to come a point in time. It's going to be a great reset. The elites of Esau, they're going to do away with these, FRA notes, these coins, and everything is going to be digital currency, cashless society. You see, so by us watching for these things, it's it's not going to come upon us unawares because we're expecting it to happen according to prophecy. But the Israelites that's not warning the congregation of these things, then it's gonna come upon them as a thief, unawares. You see. It says, "Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour which you think not." Yeah, so we don't know the, yeah, when Yahweh Shai is coming, but the Lord has given us the times to know. By way of the prophecies, all the events that's happening all at one time simultaneously. The famines, pestilences. That's how we will know. Ultimately, MOTB being made mandated. That's how we will know that Lord Yahweh Shai is near. You see, so. And the last one is charity, which preaching the truth is the ultimate charity. But also helping brothers out, letting brothers, If brothers, fall on hard times, letting them lodge at your house, um, you know, giving brothers, sound counsel on how to conduct themselves in the faith, and comforting brothers with, with scriptures and wise counsel. All those play a part in charity. As it says in 1 Peter 4:8, it says, "And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins." And so, yeah, so charity covers the multitude of sins, man. So we can't be selfish. We can't be self-centered. We gotta make sure, we look out. If we have it, you know. And charity is from the Greek word agape, which means affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, brotherly love, love feast. Yeah, so charity is having brotherly love, man. And we all have to have that. We can't be selfish. You see, it says verse 9, use hospitality one to another without grudging. So yeah, we can't be grieved when we do hospitality. Ah, man, you know, damn, I didn't want to do this. Like, nah, you can't do that, man. If a brother fall hard times, he's a diligent brother in the faith. He's fervent. You're supposed to let that brother, stay in your house if you can, of course. If you have space, you know, um, look out. Tell the brother, get back on his feet. You know, or helping the brother out with money or financially, or you know, uh, help. Being an ear when a brother needs someone to talk to. Because it's not only limited to money, charity, but charity is goes and being there for brothers, when you need them, you know, giving sound counsel, giving wise counsel, and you know how to conduct, how we should conduct ourselves, and warn the sheep of being to be circumspect, you know, you know, giving brothers, you know, wisdom on how to, maneuver through Babylon, man. You see, so all that plays a part in charity. It's many other things, so yeah, I just want to make a lesson on that, show a pattern of good works, and Lord willing, I was edified. And till next time, Shalom.